Greetings, Nimrods. So in the last video, we had shown some footage from the beginning of deer season up in Maine. I had went up to the camp and it was unusually warm for the beginning of November. It was, at night it was high 30s, low 40s, and during the day it got up into the low 60s, which is way too warm for deer hunting. Although we did see some deer in the morning under the stand. There's some video footage of it here, and if you want to see more about it, you can watch that previous video. But I had been watching for some colder weather. So this is about 12 days later. I went back up on a Sunday night because we were supposed to get some cold weather on the following week. When I got there in the dark and a rainy, warm Sunday night, but it got cold as heck. High 20s, low 30s that evening, and it was really blowing. It was blowing 15, 20 at least, a steady breeze, and then gusting more than that. So I was not going to go up in the stand that morning. But I did go back out to the stand in the afternoon and pull the rope up into it, so the next morning I could get up in the stand without having to do this in the dark. I did go still hunting all day. I did see one deer in the swamp, but I did not get a shot at a young buck. Never saw it again. But like I said, I worked my way out in the stand, and I was going to sit in the afternoon. It was a little windy for it, but I did it anyway. Pulled the line up through. I leave a paracord loop in the tree because I don't want to leave my rope out in the woods when I don't know if I'm coming back or not. So I pull the rope up through the tree with the paracord, put that alpine butterfly knot in it, and then pull that up through, and that hooks onto the branch that's looped over at the top of the tree for my anchor. And then I have a single line that I can use, the single rope technique with the hand ascender and the belay device to climb up. I have a video somewhere on that you can look at to see if you really want to see how I do that. So I sat in a tree that evening, did not see anything. I generally don't see things in that stand in the afternoon for whatever reason. The following morning, I got up there and had a nice sit for about 4 hours. I can't really sit up there too much longer than that. Did not see a single thing, but it was nice and quiet and still, so at least it was pleasant. It was about 25 degrees, so it was cold. And then I went still hunting all day. Did not see anything, did not see much sign. The next morning, there was a promise of snow, so previous night I had basically had to pack up a lot of my stuff and get it in the truck, get the truck out of the driveway up to the road, the unimproved part of the road, and the first thing in the morning, once it really was snowing, I moved the truck down to the improved part of the road. So now my truck is a quarter mile away, so that's a lot of carrying if I have to bring too much stuff out. So I went still hunting or tracking, did not see much evidence of deer anywhere. Saw one track that was a little old, really couldn't follow it. So it was a little uneventful. I worked my way back around to the stand, and thankfully there were no tracks in the shooting lane, so I didn't miss anything by not sitting in the tree. But I had to get my rope back out. So the previous day when I sat in the stand, I had tied my paracord to the knot end of the rope that's over the branch and dropped it down. And now I take that paracord, actually I take the paracord and I pull the knot end of the rope down. That's what I'm doing there. And then I have to undo the knot and then pull the rope, the paracord back up by pulling the rope down, and then I get the paracord looped up over the branch and then I tie it together, tie it to the tree, and hopefully it's there next time I go. So I did all that and then worked my way back to the cabin. This is probably around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It was still below freezing, but it wasn't snowing so much as it was sleeting at this point. But as you can imagine, spending all day out in the woods, it's pretty cool. So I was hopeful that the fire was still going in the cabin when I got there. And there's the cabin. I'm marching up, and you'll see the driveway here when we get up to the cabin. You'll see why two-wheel drive truck is not going to get you out of here. It's an uphill, slippery leaves. It's not really road base. It's basically a path in the woods. So in this weather, when the ground is semi-frozen, but there's little streams running down the driveway, it's pretty mushy, and you're guaranteed to get stuck there. Even without the snow, when it's wet, it's pretty tough to get out of. You don't want to walk up the driveway. There's the driveway that goes up to an unimproved road. Here's the cabin. Here's the nice warm wood stove, relatively speaking. It's a little undergunned when it gets windy out because the cabin's not insulated. And there's the Marlin 1894 44 Magnum. I do love that gun. So we're up to 23 days, 23 nights stayed in the cabin. The record is 31 in 2017. Hope to break that record soon. So we'll see if we get up there. If we do, it'll be after Thanksgiving for the last 2 days. We'll let you know what happens. As always, remember to subscribe. The Nimrod Nation needs more people like you. So subscribe, like, and share this video. Happy hunting, Nimrods.